What's going on, dirtbags? If anyone's already here, welcome. If anyone's going to be here soon, also welcome. If anyone isn't planning on showing up, well, we didn't want to see you anyway. That's all there is to it, homie. All there is to it. So I'll get started in a little bit. Today, we will be making an unneeded, unwanted contribution to an open source repository. I'm excited. You should be excited. Get excited. What's going on, lone single one viewer? Now that you're here, I'm ready to get started. Today, we are making an unwanted, unneeded contribution to an open source repository. If they accept it, they accept it. If they don't accept it, they don't. That's all there is to it. Let's hop into it. So you see this Go SQLite 3. This is an interesting and fun library. We'll be putting this database driver into the project github.com/techrail/bark. You'll notice Bark is a small and easy to use tool that uses PostgreSQL for collecting logs from multiple sources. We're not just going to be using PostgreSQL though. We're going to be using SQLite. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be powerful. It's going to be respectable. You see this DB, barklog queries.go. This is the one I want. This does install the Postgres driver. But we got to figure out what's going on in this code base, where to go, how to do it. So this is going to be fun. We got channels going on. Logchan.go. Not sure what that's about. What else we got going on here? Controllers. Ooh, this could be interesting. This may be what we need. Indexcontroller.go. That's not what we want. We want the log ingestion controller.go. This is going to be interesting. Here we are. So I assume, let's see, handling a single log insertion request, which point that will go to ingestion.insert single. So let's check out where ingestion is. It's going to be Bark services ingestion, Bark services ingestion, read from channel. Okay. We'll insert single channels log.channel greater than constant server log insertion channel capacity -1. Fantastic. Actually, this is interesting. I think there's a better way to write this code, but we're not doing that today. Insert multiple. Fantastic. Resources.server db saver wg.add. Okay. Validate for insert. Interesting. So we need to figure out where it's actually going into Postgres from here. DB logwriter. This is probably going to be it. dblogwriter.go. Barklog DAO models.barklog DAO. Keep saving logs as a go routine to check channel length and commit to DB. The routine decides whether batch or single DB call logs need to be made. Further bifurcation of batch sizes is done based on the incoming traffic and log channel capacity. If app runtime shutdown requested is set to true, then the routine will send a batch of all the remaining logs on the log channel to the DB. So let's see. Saver.add, whatever. Insert batch. Barklog.dao.insert batch. Barklog.dao is a model. Okay, so this is going to be strange, but let's see. Log batch equals append. Go func. Blah, blah, blah. So I think it's that insert batch. I don't know what's going on in this. This seems like a lot of stuff. Let's go to that barklog batch, which is in models. So go to bark models, barklog, validate size for insert, barklog DAO, insert. There we go. So it runs resources.barkdb.client.exec. So bark resources and techrail bark resources. So Bark resources, DB and DB pool config. We found it. So we're using PGX pool and PQ and all this stuff. Init DB, open DB, close DB. And I wonder if this is actually all we need to do to set this up. Let's see, DB pool config. Okay. So what we're going to do is a little bit of refactor, a little bit of dependency injection, a little bit of fun, a little bit of sun, a little bit of gun. We'll talk to a nun, and hopefully we get this thing done. And then we'll submit a PR, and then they'll reject it because it has nothing to do with this project, and it'll be fun. Which I kind of already stopped the rhyming thing, so that last fun, please ignore that. Also, who is my one viewer? Please, sound off in the chat. Or don't, you know. I mean, it's a free country. You're free to do as you please. I don't know how to tell. Is there a way to figure out who's in the chat? Or in the stream, or whatever? I think there should be some way to do that. Users in chat. Oh, this has like 3 different people. I don't know who they are. Anyway. We are getting into it. So let's go to CD resources. Actually, I'm going to VI, comma E, resources. And then we'll split, open up dbpool.go and dbpoolconfig below it. So resources shouldn't be too bad. Bark PostgreSDB wraps the PGX pool and a custom struct to use it as a receiver for query functions. Okay. When BarkDB is just literally a pointer to the Bark PostgreSDB. So initDB is called OpenDB. And then once it has it, I guess returns a PGX pool upon which you can run queries. So let's go to references of this. And they're all in resources/db.go. All right. And then let's check references of this bad boy. Barklog.go, resources. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. Okay, so if I go back to this file, back to this file, looks like they're just setting up a global variable that handles all of the stuff. So then when it's being used, if I go back to this, go references, when it's being used in lines 88 and 118, and 118, I guess, does it just use the, interesting. So I guess it just uses that global variable. Very interesting. So then in this other file, this other resources file, dbpoolconfig, returns a pgxpool.config, and I'm guessing this is where you configure it in the main function. So let's quit out of this and read the documentation real quick just to make sure. Oh, not main.go. I want readme. All right, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Whole bunch of nonsense. No one cares, no one cares, no one cares. Aim of the project, very neat. Bark is easy to set up. So I want to fundamentally change this because I think we can go easier than Postgres. And what if you don't already have it installed for your other services? Create a new table and start a server. That's it. Easy or nothing to learn. Fantastic. Ease of purging irrelevant logs. caveat. Bark is supposed to scale alongside util point. Bark uses Postgres, and so it's pretty performant. It's worth noting that Postgres is not designed to store enormous amounts of time series data. But Postgres is just good enough for mid-sized installations, say a dozen services that has not gone global yet. Bark is not aimed at becoming the most powerful and flexible log aggregation service, but useful enough for searching and filtering logs. Written in Go. So we're going to be looking for Bark database URL in this. I think it would be neat to, instead of them putting in a Postgres, I can just check for a regular file path. And then if it's a file path and not a Postgres file path, then it can launch the SQLite backend that I'm about to write. So you can navigate to the directory, vendor, blah, blah, blah. No code, DB migrations, folder copy the SQL commands, run them in a pSQL, or use a migration terminal. Yeah, so we can do a way easier setup than this. Touch libraries locally, whatever. Get it from Docker, whatever. Usage in Go project. You must send a code and a message. Whatever, whatever, whatever. Not a replacement for plain text logs. Not an APM. Not trying to replace that. Not a CLI or web server at this point. Actually, a web server could be interesting. Maybe that's what I do. Curious. This could be very interesting. You know what? Actually, change of plan. We're writing a web server for this bad boy. That will be probably actually accepted. Web server experiment. Perfect. Then let's see, let's go to CMD. Actually, I don't want to do that. I want a VI and then comma F, CMD slash server slash main.go. So this is going to be very simple. We can just do r.get slash API controllers dot API. And this is going to be fantastic. So let's go into this controllers area. Controllers slash index controller.go log ingestion.go. You know what? I'm going to make a new one. Controllers slash API.go. And that's in that tiny window. Let's make that window bigger. Fantastic. Package. Controllers. And then just for funsies, we can do a if present API. Actually, you know what? We can do better than this. Port, app port, address. Let's do another one. API port colon equals os dot get env API underscore port. This is fantastic. If len port equals 0. One of these bad boys. Port equals. Let's do 8081. Serve the port on a different thing. API address colon equals plus port. This is fantastic. Oh, wait a second. This was init returns a string. Oh, I can just do comma API address. Address equals address comma API address equals that. And this will return two strings. String comma string. Get Evan, get env, that's what I want. API port declared but not used. Oh, I want this plus API port. API port. Fantastic. So API address is not being used. So then we'll do, let's see. Get all that going, and then we'll do a db log writer start lighting logs. Let's do a go. Let's see. If API address is not equal to nil, not nil, the 0 value for string, then we will do http.new server. No, http.server. I'll use a basic one. API srv : equals new server. Then we'll add this route to the server. API srv dot handler. Where's my? This is all text options. There's no. Maybe I'm doing something wrong with this. http.server. Let's just do a real quick HTTP. Also, this should be down here. It's net/HTTP. Fantastic. All right. Adder API address. All right. API srv dot handler. Is that it? Well, what are they using over here? R equals router.new. Turns a new router, path correction, blah, blah, blah. I see. So they're using the fast HTTP. So let's get rid of this net HTTP and use fast HTTP. Fast HTTP, all right. So we'll do API r : equals router.new. So how do you do that up here? At router.new, and then we'll do an r.get. And we'll figure that out later. We'll do fast http.listen and serve. No TLS right now. API address, comma, and then it'll be that other handler. API router dot handler. And then they have a log.fatal. We're not going to do a log.fatal. Expected statement, whatever. Not enough calls to get. So this should be easy. So we'll do /API. And what else do we want? Oh, we want controllers.api. Or should we do API? I think that's more like it. So then, let's see, func. Let's split this and look at what the other ones look like. And this window split is screwed up. There we go. So let's see, package controllers. Let's edit controllers /index controller.go. This is to see what a controller looks like. And this one just takes in a context of fast http.request.ctx. All right, that'll be easy. API controller, which I will call this API controller just to make it look like the others. Context pointer to fast http.request.ctx. Fantastic. Let's import that bad boy. And I don't know why that was weird, but there we go. So now this works. So now I have the /API. which is fan-friggin-tastic. So let's take a gander at the rest of this stuff. None of this stuff looks all that interesting. Are they reading anything from the CTX? CTX.response.header.add response.setBodyString. Fantastic. So what we should do is do a CTX dot. Oh boy, there's a lot of stuff. Let's take a look at the fast API or fast HTTP library for Go. Fast HTTP router Golang. Let's see, router implementation for fast HTTP. Router is a lightweight, high-performance HTTP request router, also called multiplexer or MUX for short for fast HTTP. This router is optimized for high performance and small memory footprint, and it scales well with long paths and large number of routes. Compressing a dynamic tree, radix tree structure is best for efficient matching. Fastest web frameworks, only explicit matches, stop caring about trailing slashes, auto path corrections, parameters in your routing pattern, zero garbage, no more server crashes, perfect for APIs. Perfect for APIs. Usage, blah, 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 blah. So let's see if we can do a sub path here. We'll try to get read and delete in here. No need to do create and update, because create and update are already actions of the base program. How does it work? Router relies on a tree structure, which makes heavy use of common prefixes. It's basically a compact prefix tree or just radix tree, nodes with common prefix, blah, blah, blah. Every num, blah, blah, blah. Oh, this is a lot of stuff. Whatever. Let's go into the... Where is the Go doc for this bad boy? Is it not linked in here? It's the README. Let's see. What is it? Godoc.io? Godoc.io / something? Go docs. Let's go.dev/docs. So that's the base Go docs. pkg.go.dev. So this will be fast HTTP. Valaya fast HTTP. Fantastic. Let's start scrolling. Take a look. So we got a bunch of nonsense in the root. We got a bunch of args, a bunch of client, cookie. Let's see what's going on with that CTX. Request CTX. This is what we have. This is what we'll work with. It's got a request and it's got a response. Copying request by value is forbidden. Use pointed request instead. Blah, blah, blah. Request CTX contains incoming requests and manages outgoing responses. Forbidden copying. Request handler should avoid holding references to incoming requests CTX and its members after return if holding blah, 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 blah. All sorts of stuff. Whatever. Don't care. Returns the underlying net.con. Ooh, this one's fun. Connection ID, con number, con time, deadline, done, error, form file, form value. Okay, this could be interesting. Hijack, that's a fun one. You do that to update to WebSockets and HTTP2, that's always fun. Hijacked host ID if modified source, init2, is body stream, is connect, is delete, is get, is head, is options, is patch, is post, is put, is TLS, is trace, local address, local IP, logger. Well, that's fun. Method, multiple found, not modified, path. Post args, post body, query args, redirect bytes, refer, remote adder, remote IP, remove user value bytes, request body stream, request URI, request body, blah, 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 set body stream. This is a whole bunch of nonsense, set a whole bunch of stuff, whatever. String, success stream. URI, user agent. I wonder if I can get a subrouter from this thing. It looks like it doesn't like subrouters. But I want the API to be all in one place. Blah, 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 blah. Protocol, read trailer, refer, reset, set by range, sets by v. Oh, this is all under request header. I don't want any of this. And then response. So let's see if we can have a router with a subrouter, because that will be useful. We got args, we got clients, got cookies. Where did we get that router? Request handler, response handler, server, URI. You know what? Let's just go back to split this window again. Edit. What was that file I was just in? It was cmd / server / main.go. So this is router.new. So let's find Control F, new. Oh, that's right. This isn't a fast HTTP router. This is a... What type of router is it? No, it is a fast HTTP router. But I'm in Valalia / fast HTTP, not fast HTTP / router. GitHub.com / fast HTTP / router. Well, this is fun. Let's see if there's a way to stack routers, because that's useful. Group. That's fun. Group is a sub router to group paths. So what we can do is probably... I see. Just pass it a group. So what we can do is... API controller dot... Let's see. Func new API controller, and this will pass in, this will return a router dot group, and this is the right code action. I want to space CA, add that import, space CA, organize imports. So now we can return a pointer to a router dot group, and then down in main, what we will do is make a new router and then r.group, and then we'll do controllers.new API controller. Cannot use it. It's string value in r.group. What? / API. Am I doing this wrong? What was the router group thing? Oh, I see. Returns a new group. Interesting. And I need to go get some water. I am parched. I will be right back. And I'm back. So anyway, where were we? Trying to figure out how this group thing works. Turns a new group. Path autocorrection, including trailing slashes, is enabled by default. So how does that work? Package router tree based on high performance HTTP request router. Router matches incoming requests from the request method and path. If a handler is registered for this path and method, router delegates requests to that function. For the methods get, put, post, put, patch, delete, and options, shortcut functions exist to register handles for all the methods router.handle can be used. Registered path, name parameters, fantastic. Okay. So let's see. The new group path autocorrection, including trailing slashes, is enabled by default. So I guess for a group, you can use a subrouter. So what we should do is we should take in a router.group. So we'll do API router.group/API, and then delete this. Then we'll do new API controller on this bad boy. This will be controllers dot new API controller. Fantastic. So in this new API controller, what we'll do is we'll take G. So we'll do g.get. And we'll first start off with an easy one, /logs, to get all the logs. And this will be func all logs. This will take in a CTX router, not router, fast HTTP dot context CTX request CTX, be a pointer. This will be all logs, easy peasy. And we'll do g dot get logs slash, and we'll do service to filter them based on service, comma logs by service. This will be func logs by service. Again, a CTX pointer to fast HTTP dot request CTX. G dot get logs slash, let's see. I don't know, I think we can just start with those. So the first thing we'll do is try to get all of the logs. So we'll just look at the code that they use to, to put logs in the database, and then we'll use them to get logs out of the database, which should be pretty easy. Let's write that change, write those changes, and then we can, what can we do? We can find, okay, that's going to be a lot of stuff. Ooh, let's just dig through this again. So this was in, not DB, not constants, controllers, resources, I think. dbpool.db.go, right? So what we can do is go to db pool, what package was this in? Resources. Resources.bark db dot So that's a variable. That's the one we want, right? And we'll add that import. It's not used. So we'll do dot client dot acquire. What does that do? Returns a pool and an error. So pool comma error colon equals that. If error not equal to nil, what we'll do is ctx dot set status code, which will take in http dot status internal server error. We'll add http. Then we'll do pool dot get. Oh no. var print con exec ping begin query. Dot query context SQL args. So the context will probably just be fine with this ctx. SQL we'll do later. Args we'll do later. Oh, we need context. We'll do the context of this request, CTX. Fantastic. And then what we'll do is pgx rows, comma error, rows, error, colon equals this thing. If error is not equal to nil, we'll do ctx dot set status code http dot status internal server error. Oh, let's see. So we just have that rows sitting out there. So we're gonna have to parse those rows into logs. We'll start bark log. Let's see. Let's add that bad boy. Let's fill that bad boy up. Then we'll do for row colon equals rows dot scan. Scan reads the values from the current row into desk values positionally. That's not what we want. We want rows dot next. Fantastic. So what we want to do is for rows dot next. That's what it is. That way, as long as there's still more, it will keep returning true. And once we've gotten to the last one, it will return false. This is a function you have to call though. And then we'll do a var ret slice of models.barklog. So then for rows.next, we'll do ret equals append ret comma and then models.barklog. And then we'll close this bad boy up. Let's import that. This result of append is never used, except maybe another appends. Well, don't you worry about this. We'll do ctx dot write. Let's see, dot response. Dot write. Okay, so then we'll do JSON.new encoder on ctx.response dot encode. Do I not have JSON? All right. Well, import JSON dot encode ret. Cannot use ctx.response as IO writer in the argument, whatever. Fast HTTP.response does not implement IO writer. Write method as pointer receiver. Can I do this as a pointer? Okay. So it doesn't like it. Fast HTTP. Write, or let's see. Encode JSON response. How to write a JSON return. Let's see. JSON new encoder CTX. Oh, so I just have to do CTX. I don't need any of this nonsense. Well, that's fantastic. And then encode returns an error. Var, or no. Error colon equals, not colon equals, just equals. If error not equal to nil, we'll do ctx dot set status code http dot status internal server error. That is fantastic. So we're encoding it. We're doing that. We're gonna need returns on these bad boys. So that's good. So what do we got? We got JSON new encoder, encode ret, returns an error, set the status code. So now all we need to do is read these values into the rows. So then we'll do rows dot scan, and actually what we can probably do is sadly we can't do this ret equals append thing, so we'll do new log colon equals models.bark log. Fantastic. And then let's get rid of all of these things. And let's get this on the same line. So then we'll do rows.scan dest any returns an error. So we'll do error colon equals rows.scan if error is not equal to nil. Then we'll do ctx dot set status code http dot status internal server error. Fantastic. And return early. So we'll do a nice little rows.scan. So it'll be new log dot. Then we're just gonna have to enumerate all these fields. So what we'll have to do is probably to determine all the fields, we will open up a terminal. We will do a docker compose up minus D, I guess. All right, so it started, and we just need to connect to that Postgres container, which I forget how to do. Let's see. Let's go back to techrail/bark. Oh, new viewer. For your reference, I am adding an API server to this application. Nobody asked me to do this. It's probably not going to be accepted, but we're having fun doing it. So I've written very basic API functionality. I need to figure out how the data is stored in the database so that I can then read it back from the database and then have an API. Not much for front ends, but you know, we'll have an API. So let's see, run using Docker Compose, HTTP //localhost://18080/vibhav. I don't know how to say that. All right, so it looks like I'm not binding on 1880. Oh no, curl HTTP ://localhost localhost colon 18080 / hello / I'm going to change this to Nate. Okay, so we have that running. I wonder if this is also exposing the Postgres database, because that'll be really easy. So let's read this Docker compose file and see. So we're exposing 1880, and we are 15432. So we can do pg postgres ps, I don't know, postgres command line client psql psql localhost colon 15432 minus u postgres. Let's see what happens. Am I in? Is it doing something? Could not translate. Dang it. All right. I think I need minus P to do that port. There we go. It's password Postgres. Dang it. Let's see if there's a default. Let's see. I'll just split my window. Edit docker-compose.yaml, and the Postgres user is auth_user, and the password is pass. All right. -u auth_user, password is pass. What? Curious. Very curious. pSQL how to. A, B, C command. I don't want command. Don't want CSV. Don't want anything. Just want to log in. Minus D, DB name. So that'll be useful. Which is going to be bark. Minus D bark. Minus U should be user. File name, don't need echo separator. Host name. Host name. Oh, we already have that. H is localhost. L for list. L, capital L file name. N, O, P for port. Already got that. Quiet, separator. Single step, single line, tuples only. Minus U for username. W for password. Force pSQL to prompt for password before connecting the database, even if the password won't be used. Blah blah blah. Expanded XZ01. All right. Let's try this again. Pass. There we go. Select star. Let's see. What's the name of the list tables Postgres? \DT. And we have the schema name app log. So select star from app log limit 1. All right, so it's going to be ID, log time, log level, service name, session name, code, message, more data. So what we'll do is we'll scan this into our thing here. So it's going to be ID, new log dot log time, new log dot service name, new log dot session name, new log dot code, new log dot message, new log dot more data. And I think there's going to need to be some more stuff with the new log dot more data. But anyway, let's make these all pointers, and then we will investigate what it's complaining about. Invalid operation, cannot indirect new log.id. Type of in64. What does the scan do? Reads the values from the current row into dest values positionally. Dest can include pointers to core types, implementing the scanner interface, and nil. Nil will skip the value entirely. Use an error to call scan without first calling next and checking that it returned true. So it really doesn't like any of these. Do I not? Oh, I don't want indirect. I want a pointer. I had this backwards. Haha, classic. So hopefully some of these will work now. Ampersand. Perfect. New log time undefined. But does have log time. Okay, I just typed that wrong. And same thing with the service name. So let's just do a drive by one of these bad boys and a drive by one of these bad boys. And there we go. Whiz bang boom. With any luck, it should be fine. McNeely, hey, this isn't PHP. I'm sorry. I'm sorry it's not PHP. I cry myself to sleep every night over the fact that I'm not coding in PHP. If I'm not using a language called personal homepage to do everything, I'm making a mistake. I understand that. You know, they say PHP hurts people when they're not using it, because everyone should be using PHP. Thank you, McNeely, also for the first time chat. Big respect. Appreciate you being in here. So what was I going to do? Oh, I need to test this thing. Oh, also I need to run a query. So this query will be fairly easy. Let's do this on, you know what? I'm actually just going to do query. Let's see, all logs query. Instead of all logs, let's call it new logs, because all logs is going to be ridiculous, but new logs kind of makes sense. So then we'll do a const new logs query equals backtick, and then it will be select, and then we are selecting ID, log time, log level, service name, session name, code, more data from. I think I want to say this. Let's see. Postgres select statement. Shout out to Googling things. Select whatever. This is not helpful. I just want a single example to make sure I'm not doing this super stupid. Select first name, comma, from. Fantastic. So I don't actually need this thing. From app log where, let me get some indentation here. Let's do this right. From app log limit, and we'll do, what's a good limit? 1,000? That looks good to me. Rate that bad boy. So we got new logs query with no args, and that could just actually be empty. We don't need anything there. Fantastic. So theoretically, this will work. you know, we'll have to find out, I suppose. What's the next thing to do? I suppose it's test this. Testing sounds like pain. I don't really want to test. Ah, delicious. But I suppose I have to test. What's that thing going to be? Docker compose down. Docker compose up. I wonder, is this going to rebuild the binary? Suppose we'll find out. Database connection from environment, whatever, successfully connected to database. So how do I send it a log? Let's go into README and see if there's a quick and easy way to send a log. Aim of this project, blah, 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 caveat, language of choice, Go, server installation, that's for library, blah, blah, blah. Run using Docker Compose. I have to be using the client directory. So you know what, let's do that. I'm just gonna open up a new terminal here. Client.go. Great, don't care. Examples. Where's the examples? It said there was examples. Are there no examples? Services, tests, utils, vendor. That readme.md. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. Whatever, I'll just read it from here. CMD examples client. All right, CMD examples, CD client, Bark client example.go, and I've opened it in Vim within Vim. We've got Vimception going on. Don't really appreciate that, but we will just do something really quick. Do a new Bark client here on 180. Whoops, ZZ. Split this bad boy. Terminal again. CMD examples client go run Bark client. Whoops, Bark underscore client example.go. Hopefully that should throw some stuff into the database. We will see. All right, so that's a bunch of messages. And then let's check the database. So we'll do PSQL, all that, pass, select star from app log. It didn't log anything. Select star from app log ID sec. One row, last value is called. Huh. So this is interesting. It did not send. It didn't work. Exit Bark client example.go. New client. Oh great. E CMD examples client Bark client example.go. setDNV debug true. New client. So this should do it. Oh, I didn't actually write when I did that. All right, let's try this again. CD CMD / examples client. Let's bat Bark client example.go. So what we see is now we're going to be connecting on 1880, And let's do go run bark client example.go again. And that is not good. That was supposed to take forever to compile first. Split this bad boy, terminal, psql, pass, select star from app log. There we go. So now we got logs. So let's get out of here. Then we will curl localhost 1880 slash API slash, let's see what we got. No, not found. That's expected. We want API slash logs. Also not found. Is it slash recent? I forget what I wrote. Let's edit that file I was just in. That's going to be controllers slash API.go. What did I name that? That was slash logs. Oh. So that didn't work. Oh, that's right. I added a new environment variable. Haha. So let's get out of that, get out of that, get out of that. So we'll do docker compose down, docker, and we'll open up docker compose.yaml. Do another environment variable, which will be, that's not in Postgres. We want the environment variable of up here in Bark. Environment Bark database URL, Bark API port is going to be 18080, except instead of 8080 it'll be 8081. Just fantastic. Server slash main.go. I think I did that right. Let's get environment API port 8081, but we're not going to do that. And we actually don't need this if statement now that I'm thinking of it. We're just going to do this no matter what. $80, $81, and in the Docker Compose, what we're going to do is we're actually going to keep this as, get rid of that, and we'll do another port, 18081 colon 8081. There we go. Docker Compose up. Fantastic. Oh, nope, I don't want that. I want Docker Compose down, Docker Compose up, -D. So now once it's finally running, it'll drop into daemon mode and go to the background, which will be fantastic. So we got that going. Let's open up VI again, split my window, terminal, cd, cmd slash examples slash client, go run bark client example.go. So we got that running, or that's already run, and then we'll do psql. Is there a way to do a command? Run command psql. So this will be a lot easier if I can do that. So I want -c select star from, was it app underscore data? We'll go back in. I'm going in. I'm in. Select star from app log. That's what it is, app log. Exit. So we'll just put this in the bash history just so we have it. Select star from app underscore log. Pass. There we go. So this is going to be fantastic. So then we're going to do curl localhost 8081 API logs. Receive failure, connection reset by peer. Oh no. What have I done? What's that about? RECV failure, connection reset by peer. Connection was closed by the remote server. Oh no. Oh no. Docker compose logs. This is the one I want. All right, so we're not printing any logs, which is less than ideal. Let's go into cmd slash, not cmd, we want controllers slash api.go. And what we should probably be doing is, first of all, getting rid of all these things we're not importing. Declaration of error. Actually, I don't really care about this error. This will be fine. I mean, var error equals. There we go. So now we have what? Shadow's declaration at line 34. I don't really care. So I'm guessing this is where the error came from. So we'll do fmt.println error add fmt. Oh, gotta make sure we do one of those bad boys. There we go. Docker compose down. Docker compose up -d. Then we want to go run that example. And then we'll have it go run cmd slash example slash client slash bartclientexample.go. Fantastic. And then we want to psql, make sure we're still getting it, pass, easy peasy. And then we will curl logs. Then we will docker compose logs. And the logs aren't there. Get logs from docker compose. Docker compose logs options. You know what? Let's open up another Vim window. Split terminal. Docker compose logs -f. Terminal curl /api /logs, and we got nothing. What if I just do /api? What if I just do /hello? What if I do on 1880 /hello /Nate? Okay, so the regular server is working. It's just the extended one that isn't. Curious. I wonder where it's going wrong. So what we can do is probably cry. Controllers /api.go. Let's see. What are we thinking we're doing wrong? Pool error. Let's do a empty.println error. Another print line over here. Another print line. wonder if I just don't know how to use this fast HTTP.request CTX. That could be what's going on. Let's figure that out. Controllers / index controller.go. Am I doing this thing wrong? No, so you just write the string and you add your headers and then you let it return. So that can't be it. Let's Docker compose down, Docker compose up. Oh, didn't do -d. Docker compose up -d. Cannot forget the D. Ladies love the D. Running in daemon mode, of course. That's what all the ladies love. Is this going? All right. Then we want to do go run. And then pSQL to make sure it's there. Pass. Cool. Curl. Curl, and then go up until we find the /API. Receive failure connection reset by peer. Docker compose logs. It's skipping initialization, starting Postgres, database system will shut down. Database is ready, receive fast start none requests, shutting down, database system shut down. Database appears to contain a database, skipping initialization, listening on IPv4 address. So this is all database stuff. I wonder if I'm missing something completely. Does Docker Compose rebuild based on the Docker file each time? I want Docker Compose up with the build flag. That's probably what it is. Docker Compose down. Docker Compose up -- build. That would make sense. And of course it's failing. Why is it failing? Permission denied. Why is permission denied? Let's do a go build -o bark cmd /server /main.go /bark. All right, so that's working. Docker compose up build bark internal load definition blah 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 blah. Cancelled 1 out of 4 from docker.io /library /golang. Load build context docker build Docker file. Unable to prepare context path Docker file. Docker build dot. Load metadata for Docker library.io. Resolve Docker internal load build context. What does that mean? Internal load build context. Open no code /db /postgres -data. What's no code db postgres data? Permission denied. Why does this have stupid permissions? Is that supposed to be like that? No code db. So, Postgres -data. That's strange. merge upstream main. Git add a, git commit minus m, add basic, git API, git merge upstream main conflict. Vi cmd slash examples slash client simple main.go. Great. Oh, so this was moved, I guess. Yeah, cmd slash server slash main.go. So this moves as well? All right, fantastic. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. Yeah, cmd slash examples client simple main.go. And of course, head upstream. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this away and then change this to 8080. Fantastic. Git add cmd slash examples client simple main.go. Git commit minus m. Remind me to undo. Oh wait, I forgot to do the other one. cmd slash server main.go. Let's see. So I had a bunch of comments here. Head upstream main. So let's keep this here. Let's keep this here. I guess we don't need these. And then here we will get rid of these. Organize imports. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. There we go. Go build -o bark cmd server main.go, and it builds, which means we've done that correctly. Git status. Oh Jesus, whatever. Git add. Oh, I'm gonna remove bark. Git add -a. Git commit -m. Merge upstream. And what was I doing before I did all that? I was going to docker compose up build, and that still didn't work for the same reason. Did I miss something? Let's see this docker compose.yaml. Is this not the same? So this should be fine. So this is where it's trying to go. Is this Postgres data, varlib Postgres data. So what if I just went to underscore no code slash db slash ll. Postgres data is owned by somebody else. Let's just rm -rf Postgres data. Sudo rm -rf Postgres data. Hopefully this will work. We'll see. Let's see. Underscore no code. Is Postgres data in here? No, it's not even in here. If I read this, that's useless. Let's just see if Docker Compose will work here. Compose up, build. Seems to be working. So that's good. Just building. Oh, fantastic. Database system ready to accept connections. Are we getting Bark itself to come up? Database connection string from environment. All right. So let's do the same thing with a -d. Huh. That's very strange the way they do that. But whatever. We got the new version running anyway. So once this is up and running, then we will curl that API path and see if it's working. See failure connection reset by Peter. Shit. Well, my throat is getting tired. I've been talking too much. You've been the viewer, and I've been Nate. It's been real. I'll hope that's not what I want. I want stream ending. It's been real. Thank you for watching. Check me out on Twitter. Check me out on YouTube. Have a nice day.